What's going on, Aquarius? Welcome to your Scorpio Full Moon reading. So this is super exciting. Now, I went kayaking the other day. The sunburn is kind of fading because I've been bathing in aloe. Oh my gosh. Anyways, um, there were themes that came up for every sign, and for you specifically, Aquarius, what I kept thinking about and what came to me in the meditations on the energy and all of that good stuff was the idea of like water levels of rising high, but not in a way that was bad. So the quarry where I went kayaking is a conservation area now, and the water levels were higher because upstream the fish were spawning. So the water levels drop because it's attached to a dam further upstream. Now, I was, while kayaking around, there are all these little islands. Through scattered throughout the park, and there was so much more that I could explore because the water levels were higher. This also had me come face to face with a goose that was hissing at me in the water, so I was very excited to get the hell out of Dodge on that one. But it was just so neat to see this different part of the park when we were on the time. It was so neat to see this part of the park and to see the little inlets and the places around the islands, and it was just it was really cool because I hadn't seen that. Some things I had never seen, right? So it revealed like caves that you could kind of go around. But anyways, I digress, Aquarius. What I'm really getting to here is that it felt like it's like a rich season that you're coming into, and just rich in terms of there's so much more to it than perhaps what you'd been paying attention to or thinking or that had been available to you, because something shifted about your emotions. Something is shifting about your emotions. I know, I get it. I have a lot of Aquarius in my chart. Like, it's like, ugh. It's not horrible, but it's just like, okay, right? So it's once you start working with it and all of that jazz, things start to feel better when it comes to emotions. But I was also thinking about while kayaking towards, there's this little waterfall where the dam was, and I was thinking about negative ions and how they're released around waterfalls and how they change the quality and the energy of the air around you. So I just thought that that was maybe important in terms of looking at the subtle things like EMFs, or EMF in general. There's not multiples, but EMF and negative ions, and like these lamps, you can kind of see it. These lamps are supposed to help. My giant stack of books. Oh my gosh. But these lamps help. But the other thing that helps as well are beeswax candles. They're known for that, but they burn very hot. They burn very hot, and you have to put them out in a specific way. So that may not be great going into summer, because right now it's already super duper hot, very warm. But just some things to think about, and this balance, right? This seeking this kind of balance. So that was your kind of your meditation that came to me while I was doing that, Aquarius. So we're going to dive right in here. Alrighty. So I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. All right, let's do this, Aquarius. My aqua peeps. Whoa. I don't know if you are at all like me, Aquarius, my aqua team, but it is in Ontario. We are getting into the elections, and I've been volunteering with a candidate that I am so hoping wins. Cross my fingers. But cross my fingers, but like also put in the effort, right? So if you are doing that, Aquarius, and you are like myself, I hope that you are having a grand time with it. Sweet soul rising. Yeah, like this water energy. Sorry, my arms are itchy because the sunburn is starting to get dry, and I can moisturize so much, but fate will do what it's going to do. So sweet soul rising. This to me is a lot of that. It's a lot of that, the water levels changing and being able to see so much more and experience so much more, right? I mean, you might encounter some like particularly angry geese, but it doesn't mean that it didn't color the afternoon, right? So it's that kind of idea. Sweet soul rising, earth angel. Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius for the Scorpio full moon? Sensual awakening. Oh, hey, Aquarius. Oh, I have too much fun with this. Okay. Seed of the heart. I will read one to you. I'm just reading the energy. Oh, you can kind of see. Oh, I don't want to close the window. I'm going to leave it because it's really warm out today. It's beautiful. I'm not complaining. Trust me. Oh my gosh. It is just a touch toasty. So what I'm getting with this energy here, Aquarius, is that first and foremost, some kind of grounding is really going to be helpful because I'm almost getting, so something about energies that you're encountering right now, it's almost like it's pulling at the fabric of, like, it's like, you're trying to get grounded and it's almost like lifting you out. Like it's like the energy is so intense that it's like pulling at you and like you're lifted up and out in a way. Like it's not bad. It's just a significant sign that some grounding is needed. A lot of grounding needed. It could just be because of the air energy right now with Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So that could be a possibility. We also have the sweet soul rising. So I feel like there's something, it's like, I'm seeing like a shedding of skin, but not in terms of a snake or anything like that. Just this layer of yourself that you're kind of casting aside, right? And it's like, I think about waking up in the morning and it's like you're tossing blankets off to like face the day and to face the day and yeah, just to wake, like to fully wake up. To fully wake up. And sensual awakening, I think, speaks for itself. I think that let me read from that book that I have here, The Journey of Love deck. I feel like I have to say it like that. Like it's on the box. Like there's a disclaimer on the back. If you look really closely, you have to like emphasize specific words when you read it. Spirit, which one do I need? I'm going to read Seed of the Heart. I feel like that it's like Ace of Pentacles vibes for me. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. That's right, I said it. Within each one of us is a divine seed of love, waiting to blossom into fullness. We don't always know what type of blossom we shall be, however, and sometimes if we try to figure it out in advance, the blossoming itself can cause us anxiety, pain, or fear, because it is taking us in an unknown, unexpected direction. We may even fear that the direction we are heading is away from our life path and purpose, as if that were even possible. The seed in the heart arises as guidance when we are unfolding in a new manifestation of the divine light within. It comes as an encouragement to trust, surrender, and allow and to be as open as, oh my gosh, I'm going to read that sentence again. How the heck did the writer do this? It comes as an encouragement to trust, to surrender, to allow, and to be open, to be as open, unthinking, and ready for the unexpected as possible. So many commas. It was more the reader that had the issue, not the sentence. A plant just needs the right conditions to grow healthy, and if you've ever seen a blade of grass pushing up through a crack in the pavement, then you'll know that when something is meant to grow to the light, it will do so, even against the most apparently insurmountable odds. This oracle brings you guidance. The right conditions are being brought to you, the most perfect support for your own divine blossoming. Trust. Know that the seed in your heart knows how to grow and life supports it. It is also a sign that something in your relationships is sprouting, a new energy. Don't be afraid to try new ways of relating now as your life energy supports it. Yeah, it's that idea of the waters changing a little bit, Aquarius. Like the waters changing and it's like allowing you to navigate things differently. Yeah. Unthinking, Aquarius. You have to be unthinking. I don't make this shit up. That's what the book says. Don't be mad at me. Be unthinking and ready for the unexpected as possible. I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to clarify these here. Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius, for Team Aqua? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. Hanged Man. Queen of Swords, the Devil. Ooh. Oh, Six of Cups. Okay. Oh, I see. That's how it's showing up on the bottom. I get it. I see. I see. Okay, so we have this. In the Hanged Man, like there's like the word that came to mind when I was looking at this card in particular was yearning. Like there's a yearning to be out of this like holding pattern. Like it feels like there's like a way you're like you just want to like bust out of your shell or an energy or something. Like there's some kind of way of wanting to expand. But I think that the reason why you were here, Aquarius, is because there was something you needed clarity on. It's like not clarity of path, because I'm getting that you had that. Like you knew what you wanted and you knew that your efforts, you were wanting to put in the work. But I almost feel like there was a way that maybe you were doubting yourself a little bit. Maybe you were doubting yourself here. Yeah, doubting yourself, right? So you needed to take emotion out of the equation so that you could really understand not your why, but how you would handle it and how you would handle things. Like there's like a handling of things. Because this card strikes me not just as like legacy energy, not just like a marriage card, a long-term relationship card. This card also strikes me as something long-term where it's like there's a rationality that you had to employ, I think. And it's not that that's, abnormal for your energy. It's not that that's strange for your energy. I just get the impression that there's a way that this was, it was like pulling at your energy. Like there's something about this here. Like that wanting to be free. I'm hearing the song Queen, I Want to Break Free by Freddie Mercury, which is like the best coming out song. Thebomb.com, friends. May 17th. International Day Against homophobia, biphobia, intersexism, and transphobia. Mark your calendars, friends. But that song, I think of that song, and I mean Indigo Girls too, Closer to Fine. But this, back to the reading, I think this was you wanting to kind of to have that moment of breaking free. And I think you're giving yourself the gift of wings right now. You're giving yourself the gift of wings, not in a way that's like it's like ready for takeoff. Like there's something that you're running with. For some reason I'm thinking of, oh my gosh, The Rescuers, that movie. It's like a really old Disney movie, and I'm thinking about the albatross and how he had such a really interesting way of liftoff. You can probably look it up on YouTube, but it's just he had set like the mice in it were like, oh no, 1313 on the time. So it's almost like that's kind of like you're just ready for liftoff regardless of what it looks like to other people. And I feel like that there's the temptation there to really take what people think seriously. And I think of this as nostalgia and looking back, but I also think of the context in which we look back. So we look back in the context of family, of friends, of just important relationships, significant relationships. So we look back in the context of these things, and we often can get caught in these places where this is the holding pattern, right? This is the holding pattern. Sorry, there's like stuff in my throat. Let me grab a glass of water here. I'm like a human barometer. So whenever the temperature goes from like 5 degrees, like it was on Monday, all the way up to 30 tomorrow, it's a little bit rough. Okay. This is where all the magic happens, friends. These videos aren't edited, so you get everything. Yeah, no, I feel like that's better. Thank you so much, Aquarius. I feel like this is really you understanding what it is that, knowing what to focus on and what to tune out, right? And I think it's also about focusing on the right things from the past, not the ones that hold you back. And that could have easily been what maybe was holding you in this sort of holding pattern. Lack of confidence, lack of clarity because of lack of confidence. Trust me, my confidence has taken hits recently too. It's okay, it happens. It just matters more than that it happens. What matters is what you do with it, Aquarius. What matters is what you do with it. Right? We all have bad days. We have to, it's what we do with them. So, Earth Angel, 3 of Pentacles. Something that we're implementing. I feel like you're implementing some kind of work right now for yourself, Aquarius, or an implementation phase. 8 of Swords, 2 of Wands. I feel like some negative self-talk maybe. Negative self-talk, like there's something you want to implement or do, and I feel like it's leaving you a little bit ungrounded. This ungrounded energy, especially with the full moon in the background here. I feel like there's something that is, it's not that the thing is ungrounded, it's that your energy around it has been, right? Maybe your energy around it has been. But I think that you're starting to understand this, because this is sort of the this is the where's my stuff card. But also I feel like this is contemplation and like looking beyond what you know best, and planning for something new, future planning. Like this is also this, so if this is like an implementation card, the 3 of Pentacles, this is like a progress card, right? Like where are we at? It's like it's like a manager sending you an email on a project that's taking a year and saying, give me the update. We have a meeting on Monday. We're going to have to brief the team with how we've been doing. And it's like that kind of energy of that sort of review, right? Thankfully, that has not happened to me. But I'm just saying. Ten of Swords. Leaving it behind. Yeah, I feel you really are. But I'm getting that it's more than just like a couple thoughts. Like it's not just thoughts that you're thinking differently. It's like whole ways of, yeah, there's the wheel on the bottom. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was trying to hide my paper cut. I got a really gross one. It's on my thumb and I did not put a Band-Aid on, and I forgot before this reading. But I'm not going to stop the reading. So, but expansion here. So I feel like that is, yeah, it's like there's like a cycle that ended for you, Aquarius. Yeah, something, and it could be thoughts that you were cycling through, right? Oh, balance. Yeah, you're coming into more balance, and I feel like it's more the thought pattern, this way of seeing yourself, like this way of seeing yourself, right? It's coming back into balance. It's coming back into balance. Because it's like you're willing now to see things differently. You're willing to see things slightly differently and to look into the future and see something different on that canvas, which is brilliant, because that's how you let go, right? That's how you let go. It's how that happens. Spirit, what messages do you have for this sensual awakening? Now, I'm getting that this can be, in one part, this could be like an awakening to different, like, so on the one hand, there's like obviously, like, I mean, hello, there's like there's kind of a sexual meaning to this, but what I'm getting is more, but then there's also this aspect of like multi-sensory experiences and like different senses waking up. For some reason, I'm hearing transpersonal chakras. So it could be information that you're getting that's then filtering through the senses, because when I've connected to that energy, I find that it affects my senses where it hits different. Like it really, it's hard to explain. And I mean, I say this as someone who has synesthesia. So I look at trees and I literally see rainbows and colors. Like I see it differently. But I get the feeling that there may be some kind of energy like that waking up. And, synesthesia is like that can happen with musical instruments. So a lot of synesthetes will, and that's happened to me too. So there's like blended, usually if you have synesthesia, you have multiple types of it. And for me, music and words. So if I see words, they sound like instruments inside. And it's hard to explain that. But there's a TED talk on it, and the person doing the instrument playing basically colored the strings so that as she played each note, the audience would see the rainbow that she would see while she was listening to music or playing it. And there's usually some kind of agreement on different colors. But I just heard the word sense8. Okay. If I don't even know if Netflix still has that show on. Do not watch that on your lunch break at work, friends. I'm warning you right now. You can watch it if you want, but oh, don't do that at work. But like it's like that kind of, it's almost like this sort of collective experience of like something sensory. That's why the transpersonal chakras came in here, where it's like we're moving beyond and into something that is, and maybe not broadly speaking, maybe so though. Oh, sorry, you can see my gross thumb. Maybe moving beyond it. But I think it's like a way that we're perceiving energy. Like there's a sense that might be more dominant than others. And that can be a sixth sense. That can be, it could be hearing. It could be touch. There could be something that's just more prominent. And the way that more information is coming to you for the next little while during this full moon, which may be different than what you're used to. It might be different. And it could be activated in terms of this cycle that you're ending. And you're kind of coming back into a sense of balance. But very interestingly, there's also this spiral. So the upward spiral of grace is a card that is in one of my decks here. I believe it's the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. But this card reminds me of that, the upward spiral of grace, right? And spiral dynamics. There are videos about this. Some some teachers put the videos out and then they don't always cite the best, but I know that Erin Abke has one right now about David Hawkins and his, but there's also Maureen St. Germain in one of her books about 5D. She talks about spiral dynamics as well. So it's not uncommon, but it's also just like making sure that it's, just making sure that it's like, that you have the resources and know where to research it for yourself. And that could just be all the Gemini in my chart, 2222 on the time, needing to know all the things, but and not like tea, not other people's tea, but like needing to know all the things, right? So if you are like that, there you go. That's where you get the information. So this upward spiral of grace, like I'm seeing this like spiral moving upward, like there's an energy shift upward because of this cycle closing. So it's like I'm moving upward, and I feel like I'm hearing you're on the up. So that's beautiful energy, but just be mindful of the senses and how you're engaging with them as a source of information in the next little while. Right. I was out for sushi once, a couple weeks ago, and, oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's so bad for you though. Like they use high fructose corn syrup in a lot of the rice. Like it's not, people are like, it's healthy. I'm like, yeah, if you eat just the chunks of fish raw. I still do it though. Oh my gosh, I still do it. But I smelled my grandfather's cabbage rolls when I was there, and then a song that was played at his funeral came on, and then his presence was very strong that day. And my mother was almost in a very serious accident at a bus terminal where a runaway bus was headed right to her. It wasn't stopping. It crossed a meridian, then it like stopped very close to her. So I have no doubt that he was with her, because around the same time I told her about it, and she was like, oh my God, and started crying a little bit, because it was like she said she could feel like and the bus stopped for some reason. Like it was a weird way that it stopped. Thankfully it did, but that kind of thing where senses may pop out. Like I'm not much of I think it's olfactory in terms of a type of clair. I'm butchering it. I know there's a specific term, but it is smelling as a sense in terms of your sixth sense. I feel like I'm rambling about this a lot, so forgive me, but I feel like it's really important. Something about this Aquarius. Sensual awakening. Page of Pentacles. I just heard eyes and ears. Like I'm all ears. Star. Four of Cups. Four of Pentacles. And the world. Why wouldn't it be? And lovers on the bottom. I don't know why I had to say it all ASMR like, but this is telling me that Aquarius, there are offers coming in, or an offer, Page of Pentacles. There's information that's coming to you, and be this information and I say information because pentacles can mean so many different things. This can mean information in terms of like knowledge, information in terms of sensory related information, information in terms of feelings. It takes on many forms. So it's information that's coming to you that is grounded. Like this isn't information that you're going to have to wonder about. Like there's no wondering needed necessarily. This is like you're getting it, like you're understanding something. Like it's not going to require you to perform gymnastics just to get it. Okay. And I think it's not going to leave you feeling ungrounded, but I think that there's something about this where it's like you have choices, but you're showing up in your power here. And I feel like maybe you are worried about making not the wrong choice, but there's like choices, and there's a way that you're just a little bit, you're trying to weigh what works best for you. The Two of Pentacles to me is also, it's also about look at what, so when this information comes in, this could be sensory related information. Like I said, it could mean so many freaking different things. This is telling me though that there's going to be a way that you have to assess what it is that you're neglecting, and looking at the themes. So it's a sort of mini analysis of the information coming in, because this is like it's not so much a weighing of options. It can be, but it's this is adaptability, this is decision making, yes, but this is also looking at what feels like it's not there, like what's there, what's not there, right? So there could be two options, there could be multiple options, and some of them will be far more grounded in terms of just transparent than others, right? So some of them could feel like the weight of something, while others feel very transparent and they're very easy to see through, which isn't bad. That's kind of what you want. Like you don't want, they call it guess culture, right? We don't want to guess stuff. We don't want to guess stuff because that is really, it doesn't speak to the way that we honor ourselves. And it also speaks to the way that people can dishonor themselves, because if they're not being transparent, with specific things, like we can all take time to weigh information, but if people aren't transparent in the long run, and it just kind of gets to this point where they're saying a lot about themselves as well as other people, right? So we have to be honest, and honesty isn't just about the absence of lies, right? Honesty isn't just about the absence of lying. It's not about the absence of that. It's also about leaning into authentic conversations that make us feel uncomfortable. It's about leaning into doing things that make us feel uncomfortable, hearing things about ourselves that make us feel uncomfortable, but that allow us to come closer to the people around us and to the people that we care about, right? So it's all throat chakra stuff. And so there's this Four of Cups and Four of Pentacles and world energy here. So it's like, it's almost like you have a lot of reasons to not really give a damn, Aquarius. You have a lot of reasons. Some of them very good, right? We all do. We all have those reasons. It's not just an Aquarius thing of like, I don't have any feelings. I don't have feelings. I mean, I get it. Like I can be like a bit of a, I don't know. I can be a bit obtuse sometimes with it. So I get that part of it. But what I'm reading here is that there's ways that you weren't, like you had good reasons not to look at things, right? So you thought. Because then Saturn is here. Oh, Saturn. And so Saturn is here kind of reminding you of the portal that you're stepping through. And this is really an invitation. And I'm not getting it being an invitation away from the hard stuff. It's you're finally stepping through it by acknowledging something that you're not wanting to. And it's not that you're not wanting to. Keep in mind, this is just this is about that sometimes looking directly at something can be difficult because we feel like we're going to be blinded by the light, right? That's kind of ableist. Let me rephrase that. We feel like it's going to shine too brightly into our eyes. It's going to make it hard for us to see because the light of it is so bright. We have, reasons to worry that our worth won't be honored or recognized, right? Whatever that means to you. And so we feel like we internalize all of these great reasons to not do something, but then we wake up one day and realize that it was just an illusion, and that these moments where we wanted to hold back, some of them were good, some of them were just tests, right? So it's like it's almost like it's graduation day. So it's like reflecting and saying, how have you done with the tests, Aquarius? How have you done with the tests, right? And with Jupiter here, I feel like this is really this is balance, right? We have the expansion of Jupiter, and then we have the sort of being mindful of the breadth of the expansion in Saturn, and we have the Six of Pentacles among other balance cards here. So I'm not overly worried about the hard stuff, but I feel like this may be a Saturn lesson for you about healing and having hope. Healing, hope, but also just having hope for yourself in a way that maybe other people didn't. Like, we all have family things that, how do I word this? Like, we all have these kind of family dynamics where we borrow hope in childhood, and then we understand what that means, and then we take that on for ourselves later. And it's almost like if you don't do that work or have people that find that in you. I was very grateful because I had a ton of angels along the way in terms of teachers in school. Like, my history teacher would, if I didn't do well, because I was, relatively speaking, an A student, failing math because of the disability that I didn't have diagnosed until much later in life. But, he would sit down and ask me, like, what's going on? Like, I heard that this happened in your class today. What's up? Like, I heard that this happened. Right. And it wasn't weird. Like, it wasn't like, that kind of grooming stuff. Like, he was fantastic. He was a phenomenal human being. So it's like, unless we have people like that, in our lives, helping us to navigate these places where we need to understand what it feels like to have people have hope in us, to believe in us, because then we understand that reference point to believe in ourselves, Aquarius. So it's like, this is kind of, I'm getting some vibes on that here. Like, the reasons that you had might have been excellent to you. But I feel like there's a way that some of them were showing up as tests because you needed to grow still from some things. And this wouldn't show up here, and Jupiter wouldn't show up here if you hadn't done the work. 10 of Swords showed up here, right? Like, this is a letting go. This is a moving past things. We're growing. We're expanding beyond. But just as an aside, I hope that you understand how proud you should feel of yourself. And not taking pride in terms of, hubris. I'm talking about pride as in really applauding yourself and doing something kind for yourself to cement and kind of memorialize how that was for you, right? Like, you're stepping through a portal. So it's like, when my marriage ended, so I was married in 2010 to 2012, the paperwork took much longer, but the official, it was over around that time. And one of the things that I did afterwards was marry myself, right? Because I wanted to remember, remember that process and the exit out of it in a way that honored the good that I felt going into it, right? Because there's these things, they exist all the time, but there's maybe something like that. Like, there's some kind of ritual that you need to do for yourself, So, and then, of course, the Lover shows up, right? So this could be a choice between what to do about your emotions, about this offer coming in here. This could also just be a signifier for love coming in, like this richness of feeling that's there, Aquarius, that richness of feeling. It's a rich time. That's the words that came to mind while I was kayaking and thinking about your sign in particular. I had my little notebook with me in a little Ziploc bag, but quieting the mind, yes, but just, jotting stuff down as it came to me in between specific time periods that I gave myself. But it's almost like it's like there's something that's very rich about your heart space right now. And I think that that's not going to go to waste based on this sensual awakening. Also the seed of the heart, like, there's some way that you're blooming here. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, maybe multiple offers. So I see water and earth here. Water and earth. This could also be opportunities to work on different things if you're not looking for romance. And I think this is different ways that we're realizing Ooh, I just got this image. Oh, whoa. Okay. So, something to do with Mercury retrograde. It could be somebody coming back from the past. Yeah, the horses are going in two different directions. So I got the image of some like this being something related to the past, maybe the Knight of Pentacles. However you want to read it, that's not prescriptive. Um, but I'm getting this. This could also be pace. I just heard pace because of the wings on the shoes, and it reminded me of Hermes, um, in Greek mythology. But it's like heartfelt and slow, but there's like that sensuality to it, right? There's that sensuality to it, which is quite lovely. So, I know that people like the drama of like competing energies and all this stuff, but I don't like reading things like that because I want messages of healing and growth, not wasting energy in competition where we don't know what we want and where, you know what I mean? So that's, my readings are different, but hopefully they resonate because of that. So Queen of Cups coming out to clarify. I feel like this is you, Aquarius. I feel like this is definitely you with that water energy that I intuited for you for your reading. The Queen of Cups here. It's like I feel like there's an ace that you have to offer. You have a cup to offer somebody. I won't tell anyone, Aquarius. Your secret's safe with me. Your feelings are safe with me. Oh, that's funny. It could be a water sign, but more so, I really strongly get this as you. King of Cups. I read reversals intuitively. 3636 on the time. So I mean, there's counterpart energy here. So I mean, I'm just saying, Aquarius. I'm just saying. Maybe you've met maybe there's someone or okay, so two storylines are going through my head and I need to stop stammering through them and try to tell them both at the same time. So story number one, counterpart energy coming in. There are different offers. One of them is more slow and steady. The other one is maybe more heartfelt. You will have different options. There's no question here with the choice, the Two of Pentacles. And then this sort of energy that you're in of this indecision a little bit, this Eight of Swords, even if it relates to yourself, there's something, let's contextualize that emotion. Let's contextualize it, right? So that we can understand it better. So there's choices that you're going to have to make, Aquarius. And I'm getting from this that this is also possibly different ways that people might approach you, or maybe your approach to other people. You might take on this slow and steady approach, something that's very valuable but slow going. And it could also be this very heartfelt, it's like passionate, but not quite the fire passion. This is more like heart passion. It's like that heartfelt, but certainly still emotionally stirred, right? So these could be two approaches to your work, but I feel like this is how you're showing up, and I think that's how your counterpart finds you. I think that's how they find you. And these are also, I just heard, these are possibly also love languages, right? Like these are also possibly love languages. Like this could be something like quality time, and this could be gifts. This could be words of affirmation, although I would maybe say that more as Knight of Swords. But it's like these could represent that kind of energy too, and that's what I'm getting pretty strongly. And I think that the King of Cups here is, if you're not looking for a relationship, this is almost these are the two different parts of your emotions, like the two different ways that you maybe have dealt with your emotions before, and you're starting to integrate them in ways that are really helping you to stand in a more powerful place, in a more emotionally available place. What does emotional availability mean? So many different things to so many different people, but at its core, at its very basis, it means that you have the space within you to have done the reflecting, so that if you feel something strong, you don't need to kick down someone's door to show it. I don't think that that's healthy either. That's like floodlighting, right? What this is about is understanding pace and understanding there's like a maturity to this energy. There's a maturity to this energy, emotional maturity. It's not so much emotional intelligence, because people can be emotional intelligent, I think, and still have a degree of emotional immaturity. And it's not about age, because I've met people who are, in their mid-20s that speak like my grandmother, my granny, and she's 85 85, 84 this year. Oh my gosh. So it's like there are ways of dealing with things. So it's almost like this sort of maturation that you've gone through after this process that you've been engaging in this healing. And I think that there's maybe something or some way that these different offers coming your way, be it work or career related or relationship related, that it's helping you to maybe mature a little bit in ways that perhaps you didn't expect. I just heard the Tower a little bit. Nine of Swords, but it's stressing you out. It's stressing you out, Aquarius. It's okay. So what I love about this particular deck is if you look at the top here, you see this white bird, and I liken that to almost like a dove, like a peace offering, that you have to find the peace amidst what feels like not chaos, but just a flurry of activity. Imagine the sound of about 30 birds' wings flapping. Right? That's what I feel like thoughts can feel like inside when they land in our body and get stuck and they don't leave. So this is maybe another call for that grounding, right? That grounding. If you're having trouble sleeping, something that I do, it means that I get at least 6 hours of sleep a night, but I take elemental magnesium. It's the liquid kind, is good for your stomach. Don't take this if you have not checked with your doctor, and don't go like guns blazing into it, because you will significantly upset your stomach. You have to build up. I also take, I think it's B3. I'm not going to check. It's niacin. And I also make sure that I get, I don't eat after a certain period of time, like all of the basic stuff, but sleep hygiene as well. Because even if things are like, even if things in your heart, I just heard, are going bump in the night, there are ways that you can deal with it. Right. And so again, this is beautiful energy for you, Aquarius. You're stepping into your power far more. There is the healing taking place, and this is a wish fulfillment for you. Your reading is so long. Oh my gosh. Not bad. It's not bad. I've had a lot to say. I've had a lot to say. But I feel like there's a wish fulfillment coming in for you, Aquarius. End of. There's your reading. No, I'm kidding. I still got more cards to pull. But I think that there's some kind of wish that you made. Like you did wish. This is the hope, right? Like you remembered what it means to hope and to trust yourself. To hope and to trust yourself, and to trust that life could deliver something good, right? That it's not a matter of like what you put in is what you get out in relationships. But sometimes life throws you curveballs. That's what Saturn does, right? That's what Saturn does. That's how we learn some lessons and get through cycles and things like that. And is it unfortunate? Yes, it is hard, but you're doing it. There's a cycle that you're ending or ended right now. Okay, so 3 sacral chakra cards came out, which is weird because this deck is like, I shuffle this and make sure that they're not together. So we have letting go, instinct, and creativity. Letting go, instinct, and creativity. So I release repressed or trapped emotions and their associated beliefs with ease and grace. Where appropriate, I let go of those people and situations that perpetuate hurt and unease. I release my investment in staying safe and stuck. I surrender that. Hanged Man and Devil. This is big time. I surrender trust and allow the light to guide me. I release. And then we also have instinct. I allow my senses, sensuality. I love when Spirit does this. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. I allow my senses to fully experience the physical world and trust my instincts. I connect to my deepest sense of self for balanced guidance and growth. I release all fears and listen to the wisdom of my ancestors through the resonance of my body. I just got this image of a tuning fork, whatever that means for you. Creativity. That's my jam. I am free to play, free to love, laugh, and experiment. I am free to experience, to create, and to manifest. I am free to be myself. I allow my creative potential to flow through me in all of its glory and magnificence. I flow. More of the water energy, right? More of the water energy. Yeah. It's interesting, too, that sensuality is likened to instinct. So it's almost like this sensual awakenings can often connect us so deeply to our gut instincts. It's just something to ponder, Aquarius. Something to ponder. Oh, Divine Masculine. Okay. I haven't gotten that card in ever. It's always the Divine Feminine. So Divine Masculine. My first instinct was to put that on here. So Earth Angel, Divine Masculine. Could be an earth sign. I'm getting that there's some kind of union within you, maybe, that is like allowing you to see, um that's just allowing you to see something, to see the opportunity, to see the Ace of Pentacle in something. um I'm hearing completion. Maybe there's some kind of completion. I feel like this is such a direct energy in terms of like who this could be in your life, what this could mean. Sorry, I'm trying to hide my thumb because it's bad. Um, this divine masculine energy. Um, yeah. You could have, like, you know, it's interesting because we see the ways that we progress and grow in our birth chart. So for mine, I'm mostly air and fire. Like my air is in fire and my fire is in air. Like I'm an Aquarius sun, but my sun sign is in the ninth house, which is Sagittarius. My moon sign is Aquarius, which is in Capricorn, so that's the 10th house. And it's like Mercury is in the 11th house. And so it's like air in air or air in fire, but in my progress chart, it's all water and earth. It's all water and earth. So there could be a way that these are like this. The reason why I thought of this is because when we think of twin flame, we immediately go to the person that we think that person could be, what that person could be. But I get that what's more important here for you, Aquarius, is that, and maybe this is true for some of you. I know my viewership is still growing, but I think that there's something about you growing into this energy for yourself, or there's a way that you're growing into this. Yeah. Where is the other one? There it is. And this is Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection by Mike Dooley. Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius, please? Yeah, this is like a monster reading. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Spirit. So all of these fell out, and you know which one fell out on top? Sometimes Spirit thinks, and like my guides are like, they think they're hilarious. Keep it simple. Okay. Noted. Keep it simple. Old souls use words very sparingly, except, of course, for I, love, thank, you, wow, now, and cool. Wow, I love you now, the universe. P.S., which sounds much better than, wow, now I love you. Sequence is important. So keep it simple. I think that there's something that you may be overcomplicating here, Aquarius, as is evidenced by this monster read. Oh my gosh. But something you could be overcomplicating. You just got to go with your heart. You got to go with your gut. Dissolve all boundaries with love. Amen to that. I love my food. My food loves me. I take this to mean what we're feeding our minds and hearts with. So when we appreciate what we put in our bodies and in our minds, and that nourishes our heart, it loves us back to the same degree. So just making sure that you say thank you for things like food, or, making, it's also, I'm hearing watching, what you watch, like what are you consuming in a day? What is it that you're watching most? What are you listening to all the time? That kind of idea. So something to bear in mind in terms of this grounding energy. So Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. This is a very long reading. I was like, I'm going to do a quick reading for Aquarius. Yeah, it'll be great. Oh my gosh. Not mad at all. This was great. But yeah, so that was your reading. If it resonated, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you on the channel, and I'm very grateful that you are here, my friends. There are other ways you can connect with me on the channel, so feel free to do that. But if this is where we part, my aqua babies, have a wonderful Scorpio full moon. Take care.